about the message of getting out to business, all business people
Yes.
here in Westchester and the Hudson Valley, and the importance of the Hispanic market. It certainly changing face. You know,
Yes.
we're not talking about some of what has been traditional perceptions of some of the Hispanic businesses, but we're talking about mainstream now. And what do you say to business people? Why is the market so important, and how can they penetrate it if they haven't already done so?
Well, that's why we're putting together the Latino Business Symposium and Expo. It's really our 10th anniversary, but just to elaborate a little bit on your question, we felt we had to do something like this in order to make our presence in this area for the past 10 years relevant. Because many businesses, even though they're in tune with the growth in population, they see more patronage coming from that side of the community. They don't know how to engage it, per se. So what we wanted to do is to just have a day of dialogue that will create a consensus into how people will be able to address the Hispanic market effectively, understanding that the community is so diverse and has different segmentations within. And as a business owner, you have to understand which segment in that market is your target audience. Once you understand that, you put yourself in a better position to provide effective services, to promote yourself effectively also, so that you are able to get the reciprocity that comes along with this so loyal consumer population.
And who are some of the speakers, or how is this going to be set up? Will there be workshops? Or
There's going to be, it's set up in a symposium setting where we're going to have a panel, with a moderator and 5 to 6 panelists discussing, and I'll use health as an example, because we're touching on health, education, and business. Those are the 3 topics that we're going to discuss over a 2-day period. The example with health, we'll have up there White Plains Hospital, Phelps Memorial, Open Door, Greenberg Health Center, and Hudson Health Plan as a health provider. And what they're going to do is they're going to discuss in the past 10 years what have been their experiences, their challenges, their success, their failures in being inclusive to this growth in the population. With that dialogue, I'm very confident that a consensus can come out of that room that will allow other providers who will be in the room, because they're the target audience for this particular event. We want them to understand how the growth in population is something beneficial to them, and how they provide services, and how they project their bottom line. Because as a community, we have to seek services. We need an insurance provider. We need a doctor. We need a place, to take our children when they fall and bruise themselves. So no different than the general population. What we're trying to really explain to the general business community is that here lies a great opportunity. Here we have a growth in a consumer population. That's what really makes the key. If it was the growth in a population that doesn't consume that much, I don't think we would be having this conversation. But Hispanics are notorious for their consumer behavior. So we want these entities to understand that, so that they can channel that behavior into a plan that will allow them to say, hey, Mr. Consumer, I have what you're looking for.
Well, that's very smart, because we have to tell businesses why it's important to them, and certainly
Exactly.
We're talking about some very significant buying power.
Exactly.
Here. Now, if folks would like to find out more information about the symposium, it's going to be held October 14th and 15th at the Crowne Plaza.
Yes.
Is registration required?
Yeah, registration is required, and you can log on to Latino, Latino, Biz, B-I-Z, Expo, EXPO.com. And there you get all the information about the event. You have the information about who's putting the event together, why we're putting the event together. And we really feel strongly that an information delivery system doesn't really have an impact unless it leaves something behind. We create the record in time. That's what we do. We create records of time. And if nobody really makes it their business to create a record in time as to how the growth in population has significantly affected in a positive way business in this area, then we haven't been doing our job.
And we certainly recognize that as a newspaper, and that's part of our program that we're going to be partnering
Yes.
with Miguel.
Yes.
And
Yes.
part of that is going to entail a column that Miguel is going to have in the business journals and HB Biz that's going to be talking about the Hispanic market.
Exactly.